What's up guys, today I'm gonna show you how particle system works in Blender. Click A to select all the objects, X and delete. Shift A on the mesh, I'm gonna add UV sphere. This is my particle emitter. And GZ, I'm gonna move this up. I'm gonna bring the timeline up. To apply particle system to your mesh, just select the mesh, go on this icon right here and click this plus. I'm gonna make it bigger. We're gonna go through all those settings. So I'm gonna click spacebar right here and particle system works. And by default, the particles just falling down because we got gravity right here. Later, I'm gonna show you how you can tweak this if you want. Now we got the number of particles right here, 1000. I can change this maybe to 50 and click spacebar. I got less particles, yes, right here. Maybe I'm gonna switch this to 10,000. Always remember, if you apply some changes, to go back to the first frame. You can do this by shortcut shift and left cursor on the keyboard. So if I'm gonna click spacebar, 10,000 particles just get emitted, and you got the start frame and end frame. So those 10,000 particles get emitted by the end frame of 200. I got by the default, yes. So maybe I'm gonna tweak this to 4, and all those particles get emitted by the end of frame 4 right here on the end, yes. If I'm gonna click spacebar, I got big mess right here, yes. And you got something like lifetime, so those particles gonna disappear. I got by the default 50, yes. I can maybe change this to 200 just to show you the difference. And I'm gonna apply the change, and those particles just falling down and gonna disappear by the frame on the lifetime 200 I just apply, yes. And they are falling, and right here they are disappearing at frame 200. And you can, right here you got the lifetime roundness, so you can tweak this. Some particles gonna disappear a little bit earlier, longer, yes. You got the lifetime roundness. So there is that. I hope you get it, how this was. I'm gonna tweak this back to the 50 and on the end frame to 200. Now you got the source. I'm gonna open this. Those particles just right here get emitted from the faces by the default. You can change this to vertices. I'm gonna go to the edit mode by clicking tab and 3. This is the faces of the mesh. Particles just get emitted from this. You can change this, of course, to the vertices by clicking 1 on the edit mode. I just selecting the vertices. So this is the vertices right here from the mesh, yes. So particles just get emitted from this, and you can change this to the volume, and particles just get emitted from the inside of the mesh. So we got a couple of options right here. I'm gonna leave it to the faces and click tab to go to the object mode. As you can see, particles just get emitted from the fucking faces. Now, you got use modifier stack. So if you are using some modifier on your mesh, maybe subdivision surface or something, you want to select this, yes. If you want to apply first the modifier and later the particle system. So you got the option right here to apply the modifiers. You got right here the cache. Always remember to bake your particle system when it's done. Basically, it's gonna take less to render this later, yes. So it's gonna be all calculated. You just apply the bake right here. It's gonna bake your simulation, and on the rendering it's gonna take less time, yes. So always remember to bake your simulation if it's done right here on the cache. Click bake and it's gonna be done. Now you got the velocity, and by the default I got the normal one. So I can maybe tweak this to 10, and those particles just get emitted, as you can see, 10 meters basically right here, yes, from my object right here, yes. I'm gonna go back, and you got the option right here by the axis. So I can maybe change this to the x-axis by the 10 meters right here, and I'm gonna apply the change. As you can see, those particles, the velocity just goes emitted from the fucking x-axis on the 10 meters. I hope you get it, guys. This is not complicated, okay? And you got the different directions. I'm gonna tweak this to 0, and maybe on the z-axis, top right here is 10, and those particles just gonna go up on the z-axis, yes, 10 meters right here, yes, and gravity just working, and you got this effect. So I'm gonna tweak this to the 0 right here. Now you got the rotation. If you are applying some object and you want to rotate those objects, just select right here. Later I'm gonna show you in the next tutorials, because we're gonna use some particle system and collision, but it's gonna be in a different tutorial. Now, so you got the rotation right here. Like I said, if you want to apply some object to rotate, you just choose right here, and you can tweak the right here randomize option too, yes. And you got different options by the normal and by the directions. Now I'm gonna go to the physics, open the physics. Or if you are new, just close the windows that you are not using because it's a little bit confusing. Yes, the cache is of course too big. Now you got the physics tab and you got different options right here. You got the Newtonian and you can change the mass of the particles. If you are new, don't play around with this, okay? It's Newtonian is good, but you got different options right here, yes? You got the fluid, so those particles gonna behave a little bit different, yes? And you can apply right here the mass of the stuff. Right now you open the render, and on the render option, wait guys, render right here. I'm gonna close this physics. You got the halo, and you can change this of course to different stuff, yes? So those particles gonna be emitted right here, yes? You can change this by the line and by the object, this is important, or by the collection. So Shift A, I'm gonna add maybe cube and S and move the mouse to make it bigger. I can select this sphere, and on the render right here, I can change this maybe to object and select right here by the eyedropper my cube, my mesh, yes? And I got a bunch of cubes right here. I hope you can see, yes? Those cubes just falling down from the mesh. And of course you got the scale, so I can make it bigger, those cubes. And scale roundness, so some cubes are bigger, some are smaller, yes, as you can see. So there is that. So you got on the render. Now you got viewport display. This is basically what do you want to on the viewport to play. If you are baking some big number of particles and your PC can't handle this, you just open this and maybe change this to the circle, and on the viewport it's showing you the circle, yes? It's not showing you what is on the render. Okay, so like I said, you can change this what you can see in viewport, yes, right here. You got those crosses, you got those stupid circles, and right here, yes, those hello stuff. But you can change this to rendering or whatever, and this just show you what is gonna be look in render. I hope you get it. This is just viewport display, and you can just right here dismiss this show emitter, and you're not gonna see the emitter. You don't see the sphere right here, yes? And if you're gonna go on the render, I just forgot. If you don't wanna see on the render, you just show emitter, just disable this too, okay? And on the render, when you are rendering this stuff, just you're not gonna see the sphere too. So we got the option right here on the render. I forgot to tell you, but whatever. So we got right here, yes, on the viewport display, you can play around and show emitter, don't show emitter, and how you see the objects just getting play out on the viewport. There's that. You got the children. So you can add simple children right here, yes, and you just add more amount of particles right here, yes. Look at that. I just add 10 times more on the viewport, and on the render I got 100 times, so it's even bigger number. And you got the length, you got different, you got the size, of course, yes, of the children. So this is like extra number of the particles that you emitted, okay? And I got like 10,000 or maybe 1,000, yes, and right here I got 10. It's like 10,000. It's like, how to say in fucking English, it's not like you just add 10 particles, you just have this dot to fucking, you get it, the idea. You got like 10,000 particles if you have 1,000 right here, if you got the value of 10. If you got 100, you got 100,000. If you got 1,000, you got million particles. You get it, the idea. So you can add children right here, yes, to the particle system if you want. You got weights right here, find weights, and you got the gravity option if you want to turn this down. I don't have gravity. Look at this. Those cubes are falling from the sphere. They are not falling. Yes, so you can disable the gravity right here, and you got different forces. If you apply some forces in the next tutorial, we're gonna apply something right here, force fields. You can just add maybe some force field, and you can tweak this value, have effect basically on this particle system right here. Yes, so you got right here the wind, you got the change, you got different force, yes, vertex. So you can play around in harmonic right here, yes. So you can tweak this, how much effect has the force field on the particle system right here too. You got right here force whatever settings. You can add force fields right here too from the particle system. I'm gonna be honest, it's better to add your false field right here on the 3D scene and just move this around. But you have the option right here to add force fields. Yes, you can add vertex right here, force fields, and you can of course bring this up, and you're gonna have different effects if you wanna add force fields. Yes, so but in my opinion, just add force fields in the 3D scene. Okay, we're gonna do this in the next tutorial. You got vertex group, so you can use vertex group basically. I hope you get it. From some part of the mesh, you can just emit some particles. Yes, so you can just select right here the density, the length. If you want to select some part of your mesh that you want to have, the particle just plays out. The particle system plays out. Fuck. I hope you get it how this works, guys. And you got the textures. So from the textures, you can do this too. So you can select some texture, and the particle system just runs from this texture. Okay, so you got right here the option. So there is that, guys. I hope you get it how the options works. Okay, if you are new, the most important option is the number of particles. I can tweak this maybe to 50. The end frame, start frame, yes, it's important. And the velocity, how the simulation is playing out. Look at this, I can just switch this to 10. I disable the gravity. I don't disable the gravity. I'm gonna just tweak this to the gravity, turn down 0. And I'm gonna just show you maybe 10,000 or 1,000. And those particles just flowing down right here. You got different simulation using the velocity right here option, yes? Like I said, you got the directions and the important stuff. Of course, you got the children if you wanna add more particles, and you got right here the false wind, and the render is important too, yes? So if you're gonna open the render option, you can change this to collection or maybe to object to render your particles as some objects, yes? In this case, the cubes. And you got the scale. This is the most important stuff, yes? The render settings, the velocity, the wind, whatever right here, yes? The forces that you are applying, and the number of particles, the start frame and end frame. I hope you get it. I explained something, guys. This is like the beginning kind of section. Later we're gonna add collision system to the particles. I'm gonna show you how you can set up some collisions using particle system and collision. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you like this content. Sorry for mumbling. I'm not, you know, scripted those fucking videos, guys. Who cares? You got a little bit of knowledge. Bye, guys.